Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Okay, let's talk about this big news that happened a few weeks ago where Intel has or is starting to lay off 12,000 people. Came out April 19th, 2016. This is really important because this just shows you the impact on how people are moving off of traditional PCs, namely desktops. So we know everything's either going cloud computing or everything's going onto mobile devices. We know that. That's a sense of direction, and it's now obviously directly impacting the old guard that were in the tech industry. So where does that leave us in the world of trading? Well, when you look at a powerful trading platform like Trading Technologies, which is probably one of the premier software trading platforms for people that want to get into automated trading, and very advanced, very expensive. That's why I don't even really address it. But just to give you an idea of the cost, if you cannot afford your mortgage, I see no reason why you could afford $1,800 or $1,000 per month to use this system. Effective, and I would use it, but you're now holding yourself ransom to that kind of expense. If it works and you're profiting, great. But when you're starting out, that's going to be a major hindrance. So one of the big things that they're doing is that they've now launched this product. I think it's just probably another way they deploy the trading technologies. Where you can see in this video here, it's clearly through a browser, clearly through a everything you can do in a desktop application, you can now do in a browser. They also have apps that you can get for whatever mobile OS, if it's Android or iOS. These are coming, they're here. This is the direction, which means desktop applications are going to die off within a few years. And carrying these big devices is going to be pointless now. So when you're designing systems today in 2016, in April, or pretty well soon, no, actually May now, what we're seeing is the movement away from desktop applications. So in order for my system, I'm needing now pretty well to deploy it into the world of web as a web front end. So that brings me to this platform, which used to be once upon a time an open source trading platform. And this new latest release just came out in April 7th. This is a big deal because now they've enabled this same system to now get with an HTML5 front with all the elements that you'd get in a typical mainstream trading platform. Get charting, you get your market data, order, position, all that stuff. So, this is the direction of trading platforms. And I know this is a fact because I've got the early days source code for this. I've got source code for Market Sector when they first came out in 08, 09. And everything was going web. And here we are where everything's going web. And desktop apps may not, I don't know. It just, I don't know. I just don't see the need now. So obviously, as I said, I am now designing my system in that same vein. The issue for me is, do I go develop it, and I've said this in the past, using something like Swing, the new open source Apple language for iOS devices. I think it's a good option, but not everybody's on iOS. But Android or Google has announced that they are looking at Swing as being their next replacement language to Java to develop and deploy Android apps. So that was announced a few weeks ago. Another thing is with HTML or web front, I think doing it through a browser is a smarter option, but you need to architect your system in a way where you take out all the necessary components that need to be fast and put them through a server and client model. The days, again, as said, are of these monolithic software apps built on desktops. I think they're going to die. And we're now moving into the era of, we're already there, as I said, in the world of cloud computing, mobile devices, so on and so forth. So you need to architect your trading system with that same mindset. So in the next few videos, in the next few days, I will be trying to, as I do it, and try to give you an idea of the direction I'm going with it. I kind of have an idea where I was originally going to plan it, but I think I'm way off base now. I want to put a video together on that. But the one area I looked at that I thought would work is Cutie. And Cutie is, I don't know, man. I mean, back in the day it was fine with Qt Designer Python, with the new Qt and the C++, and a way now to use Qt Creator to deploy in C++ or in Python. It's a complete mess. This IDE, this editor is just bloated, over-engineered, and literally I can't operate with it. To even use this on my Mac, it's 10 gig. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I look at the other one, Xcode from Apple. It's, I think, 8 gig. I mean, these things are getting beyond bloat. And I don't know what the size is of Visual Studio, but these things are getting to a point where it's not really worth using because it's like Java. It's just Java on steroids, and I like to keep my apps light. So I have better options now and better ways to deploy it. They may not be great fits for native OS like iOS or Android apps, but deploying it through this option I'm looking at will still work in those worlds, because you just deploy it once and it will deploy on anything as long as it's through a browser. And I think from my point of view, it's probably a smarter choice, but easily a much easier choice. And the biggest option for me is that it's kind of a quick and dirty way of getting it out there and not needing to worry about it. So I'll introduce those as options as I move forward. And this particular video, I'm hoping is going to be useful for those that are. I've got a webinar coming up with the original intent of using Qt as a front end for this system, and I don't think it's going to work, to be honest. It's just a nightmare to work with, and unfortunate, because at one point this was good, and I think it's just, yeah, you can basically take Qt and shove it up their ass. All right, talk to you later.